And welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is session 2, open testing live from IMS here on iRacing as we prepare for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions. We're happy to have you guys along with us. I'm Tanner Watkins, the president of the Open Wheels 500-mile race and your host here on Open Wheels TV. Excited to have you for the second half of today's broadcast action live from IMS as we get set for the month of November. It's just around the corner. We had about 30 plus drivers on track for testing during the 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. session. And we look forward to another 3 hours of testing live here on Open Wheels TV. Such an exciting time as we build towards fall here in the Midwest, bringing you the Open Wheels 500. It's a pleasure for me. I hope the sim racing community again enjoys it as we did back in 2019 with our inaugural running. And we hope you folks here on YouTube enjoy as well. This is our first broadcast on YouTube. Normally, or at least last year, we spent all of our broadcasts over on Twitch. And that's where we were this morning as well. So excited to bring YouTube into the fold. And hopefully we have a great broadcast featuring everything that YouTube has to offer. If we have a little bit of issues, then we always have Twitch in our back pocket. We know that that's an option moving forward. So looking forward to getting down to the track. And let's see who is running out there right now. Got a couple of drivers making laps already. Right now looking at Connor Baldwin. And I believe just ahead of him is Evan Adams. So already some action brewing, and Baldwin ends up in the pit or in the outer wall real quick there. And we're off and running here in session 2. You're watching Evan Adams. Just ahead of him, DJ Johnson and Jameel Hawkins making laps here at the Speedway. Happy to have both of those drivers on board. Running for Hawkins Autosport, DJ Johnson and Jameel Hawkins. Both drivers driving Hawkins Autosports Chevrolets with the Dallara IR18 chassis. And joining them at the back end of that pack, Hugo Olsen. And if you were with us with our coverage earlier on this afternoon, talked a little bit about Hugo Olsen, the Scandinavian driver. He'll be piloting the number 39 Powerslide Motorsports machine at this year's Open Wheels 500. Hugo qualified for last year's Open Wheels 500 as an independent rookie. Did not have a direct team affiliation for the 2019 race. Still made the race. Hugo qualified 32nd and ended up finishing 30th, but a great run nonetheless at the Open Wheels 500. And now he's running with the Powerslide group, a very competent bunch that we expect will be quite competitive at the Speedway again this year. So as we wait for action to pick up just a little bit, we'll put our timing bug up there in the upper left-hand corner and let you know the time remaining in the session, 2 hours 57 minutes. This session will roll till 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 hours in length. And we're expecting some of the folks that were with us in the first session to join, but also hopefully some folks that were not able to make it in the first session to come hop in for some action at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We start getting ready for the Open Wheels 500 action, kicking off in earnest with practice on opening day, Sunday, November 1st. And that'll be followed by practices throughout qualifications week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And, of course, qualifications on Saturday and Sunday, November 7th and the 8th. We'll get to that a little bit later. Give you a full schedule rundown as we settle into the session today. Giving you a bit of a recap in the early daytime session. Tim Doyle was the fastest. Best lap time 38.729. That was a best lap speed of 232.384 miles an hour. Marco Aurelio Brazil was the second fastest driver. 232.204 was his best lap speed. Best lap time 38.759. And Angelo Luigi Soleo, the driver from Italy, he was third quickest, 232.156. And the Italian driver certainly trying to replicate what his fellow countrymen did last year at the Open Wheels 500. It was Michele Costantini who took the checkered flag first at the 2019 Open Wheels 500. The race finishing under yellow, of course, but Liam Quinn, Henry Bennett, couple British drivers finishing second and third. Simon Bryant was fourth, followed by Adam Blocker, a former iRacing Indy 500 champion. Same for Joshua Chin, who finished in sixth. Bradley Walters was seventh, the veteran sim racer. Eighth place was Rick Music, a former iRacing Indy 500 overall pole sitter. Jeff Drake and Joe Branch rounded out the top 10, and we expect most of that top 10 back, if not everybody. The only one a little bit questionable right now, Jeff Drake, trying to feel out some hardware gremlins through the late summer, early fall months here. So not sure if he'll make it for this year's Open Wheels 500, but everybody else we expect back. And it should be a great field of competitors once again heading to Indianapolis for some action at the world's greatest race course. Couldn't ask for much more out of our early returns on the early entry list. Nearing 100 entries already. Excited to get going with practice in just about 2.5 weeks from now. And hopefully we can get that entry list up over the 104 entries that we had last year. After we turned over 1,100 laps in the opening session, This practice off to a quick start as well. Already 10 drivers have presented themselves on the pit lane, and 7 drivers with laps posted in the session. So far, everybody just running laps in race trim. Jameel Hawkins is quickest, 40.036. His best lap. Hugo Olsen second, 40.068. We talked about Hugo Olsen just a little while ago. He's running right there with Jesper Orman. Jesper, a driver, newcomer to the Open Wheels 500. We're excited to have him join the fray in 2020. An experienced member of the iRacing IndyCar community. Olsen tags the wall there on corner exit. And he'll bring it in. Orman will follow him. They make a quick dash to the pit lane. And that's all for their attempt at the moment. We follow Andrew Marquez now. Driver the number 845 machine. And Marquez is already registered for this year's Open Wheels 500. Running under the Marquez Autosport banner. Sponsorship from Fanatic and VRS. He'll be driving a Honda Dallara IR18. Marquez, a talented karting driver in the New York, New Jersey area. Driving a blue and pink livery that definitely pops off the screen. Excited to see all the various paint schemes that are available through today's open test. Had some good candidates for livery of the month already in the first session. Kale Hagstrom was a driver that comes to mind. Hopefully some cool liveries are unveiled in this session as well. Andrew Marquez, a nice front runner in session 2 here, running a bit high in turn 2 at the moment. His last lap, a 41.1 second lap. That was his first lap of the day, and he's 8th quickest at the time. As we watch, Marquez peels off. Let's go take a ride. We'll see what Charles Teed is up to. Teed, a driver from the California Club. Making some laps on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval. Just submitted his entry today to the 2020 Open Wheels 500. You see him there in a Craftsman livery. Currently, Teed is the quickest driver in this session. 39.199 seconds his last lap, and that put him to the top. In the first session, Charles Teed had the fastest trap speed of all drivers, 240.2 miles per hour. He was 9th quick in the early afternoon session, a 39.093 second lap. got him to that point. 230.220 miles an hour on the average lap. As you watch Charles Teed make laps, so far each of his laps trending in the direction of using qualifying boost, and it'll be interesting to see not only through today's open test, but also in the first week of practice, which drivers are allocating time to making qualifications practice runs, which drivers are more apt to practice in race trim, getting a feel for their car and racing conditions, as opposed to single car qualifying conditions. Those people that expect to be at or near the bubble will obviously be pushing for that qualifying speed a little bit more. But someone like Hugo Olsen, maybe even Jesper Orman, as pictured on the screen right now, they could potentially be making more laps in race trim, trying to get a feel for their race car as they feel a little bit more comfortable with their qualifying pace. But as we saw with Niall McBride last year, even drivers like Chad Simpson, Adam Plunkett, folks that were right on the edge, you definitely can't underestimate the talent of this field and the speed that we're going to see in qualifications. We even expect this year's average field speed to be quicker than last year. As you'll notice, we're racing with the new aero screen on the car. Last year at the 2019 Open Wheels 500, we did not have the aero screen on the car. It was fully open cockpit. And this year we do have the aero screen affixed to these cars. We had that even dating back to before this past May's iRacing Indianapolis 500. So these drivers have had some time to acclimate with the new bodywork attached to the car. It will slow the car down a little bit in normal race trim conditions, but it actually brought up the average field speed for last May's iRacing Indy 500 and set new track records for the previous iRacing Indy 500. That's because with the added weight of this aero screen and the IndyCar rules, they also increased the engine boost available for qualifications. That's why we expect to see higher speeds for this year's Open Wheels 500 qualifying. We expect that 229.925 four-lap average speed set by Young O last November 9th to fall this year, and a new track record to be presented not only in the 230 mile an hour mark, but perhaps even in the 231 mile an hour mark. So that'll be very interesting to see who takes the top spot in pole day qualifications on Saturday, November 7th, and who makes it into that vaunted field of 43 at the end of the day on Sunday, November 8th. Pretty good battle here going with Orman and Hugo Olsen. Best action on the track to this point, the two Scandinavian drivers. Olsen appears to be a little bit better. Orman struggling a bit with understeer. You see him push high on the exit of turn 2 right there. He's done that each of the last few laps while following Olsen. Orman with a pretty good run down the straightaways, but Olsen not only in the clean air, but just in general, seems like his car working a little bit better in the corners, and that's just enough to keep Orman behind the 8 ball as he tries to reel in the number 39 driver. Group of cars right here led by Christopher Krej. And if anybody hears me butcher their last name, feel free to reach out, let me know, either in the YouTube chat here or in our Open Wheels 500 Discord server, or even PM me on iRacing. You can find me at Tanner J. Watkins. You can also find me on Twitter at Tanner J. Watkins. Christopher Krej pulls off. Get back to this battle with Jesper Orman and Hugo Olsen. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to hop on board with Jesper and ride along for a little bit. And you saw him just barely nick the wall and corner exit there. And one thing we talked about at the tail end of the first session, drivers in their steering wheel offset, it's always a fascinating thing to look at. Some of it's preference, some of it is performance, and a big lift for Orman right there. So you can see really struggling. He's doing a race trim run right now, but having a tough time following Olsen in the draft. Let's actually just listen in for a little bit. So it's really interesting to ride along with Jesper right here. You've had to hear him back out of it a couple times. I think, you know, you're looking at Hugo Olsen up the road. Now we're going to get a quick hot pit stop from Jesper. And he'll bring it off the track real quick there. What's interesting with Orman as we rode along with him was seeing how gingerly he was having to work the throttle. Really was kind of being caught out a little bit in traffic, and it appeared, you know, Olsen was more than a second up the road, and a couple times you saw Orman carry throttle pretty well deep into the corner, only to find that the wake of Olsen's draft was still affecting the front grip of that car. Had to back out late in the corner, even downshift one time, and a couple times scraped the wall. So this is what it's all about. This is what test days, practice days leading into the race really mean. It's finding the limits, finding the edge of your car. Thankfully in the sim you can push it a little harder than you would in real life because there's no penalty for damaging the car, either financially or otherwise. In a practice here on iRacing, you get to essentially start from scratch if you make a mistake, and with that it's a lot easier to kind of work outside the box and find things that, you know, certain aspects of your tinkering are going to pay off and some parts of it will not. And that's what it's all about here at Indy through today's open test and the first week of practice as we enter into November. So already 30 minutes gone here in the second session of the day. And we take a look at Chad Simpson. And I want to make note of Chad and his efforts at the 2019 Open Wheels 500 because he was right on the edge of qualifying for last year's race. Actually on race day was the second alternate behind just Adam Plunkett. Chad's 4-lap average time was a 39.234 second run. The bubble time ended up being 39.225, so he was less than 100th of a second over 4 laps behind the eventual 33rd place starter, which was Andrew Wood. And once he was named one of the 3 alternates at the beginning of the week leading into race week, Chad Simpson was actually the driver with the most laps completed in practice from that point on. And that's impressive because Chad, you know, he didn't have a guaranteed spot in the field. He knew it would take a couple extra drivers dropping out of the field even after Brandon Trano had to withdraw from the field of 33, and that put Andrew Wood in the field. Simpson continued to plug away at it, and he was even there in the day before the 500 final practice on the Saturday before the race, and he was also there on race day on Sunday in the warm-up session, putting in laps, working his way into race shape should his number be called. In the end, it didn't, and both he and Adam Plunkett and Niall McBride had to watch from the sidelines as alternates that day. But I was pretty impressed with Chad, and it was awesome to see how hard he worked at being prepared should his number be called. Last year, Chad Simpson was racing with Last Lap Motorsports. This year, Simpson's part of a large entry with Satellite Racing. Chad will be driving the number 42 Virtual Racing School Ellis Engineering Chevrolet for Satellite Racing. And in that group for Satellite Racing, that includes Aaron Smith II, you also have Nick Rowland. He'll be driving the VRS Hyper X Chevrolet. Rowland, a driver from the UK and Ireland club. So great to see Nick Rowland joining us. He's got some real-world racing experience, if I remember correctly. That's not the only one. Adam Crane, another Canadian driver. Hopefully, for his sake, he can make the field and become the second Canadian to race in the Open Wheels Indy 500. Dakota DiCienzo last year was the first. Crane is another driver for Satellite Racing. He'll be driving the VRS Chevrolet with car number 34. So that's a pretty strong group from Satellite Racing. And Chad Simpson, shown on your screen, he'll have a little bit of unfinished business to tend to. So looking forward to seeing how that group performs in 2020, how Chad Simpson rebounds from a difficult result at the 2019 Open Wheels 500, just narrowly missing the field. Happy to have him back, and I really appreciate the drivers that are kind of re-upping for the 2020 Open Wheels 500 that were a part of the 2019 event. Not only the folks that made the race in 2019, but also the individuals that didn't make it past qualifications and were bumped and did not see race weekend. You know, that means a lot to me that those folks are willing to come back and be part of our event. They were impressed with the attention to detail and the professionalism that we showed last year, to the point where, you know, while they were on the outside looking in for last year's race, they want to be a part of things this year in the second running of the Open Wheels 500, and that means a lot to me. So to all those folks that have joined us again for year 2 of the Open Wheels 500, thank you for coming back. And to all of our newcomers for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race, welcome to your first edition. I hope you really enjoy it. We think this is the greatest representation of the real-life 500-mile race at Indianapolis that we can provide to iRacing members. We get to do some things that aren't necessarily involved in the iRacing Indy 500 in May. As great as an event that is, we get to do a little bit more realistic qualifications procedure. We also get to employ a 3-wide start and some dedicated media coverage, such as our practice and open test streams like you're watching right here on Open Wheels TV. So excited to have all of you on board with us in 2020. For those that are interested in registering for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race, you may personal message me, Tanner J. Watkins, on iRacing, or you could send me an email, tanner@openwheels.com. That is tanner@open-wheels.com. And we'll make sure that you get the link to the entry form and have a chance to compete in this year's Open Wheels 500. Like I said earlier, already reaching 100 entries on our 2020 entry list, and hope to get by that for this year's event and improve on the number of entries that we had last year. That would be a great start for the first 2 years of our event, and looking forward to continuing to build on the progress for the future. As we continue to follow Chad Simpson around with his race simulation, we're going to give it a little bit of a look to some folks that are tuning in today. Happy to have them as part of the broadcast. This is Daniel Johnson. his workspace as he was tuned into the Open Wheels 500 open test earlier today on Twitch. So thanks to Daniel for taking part and consuming some of our broadcasts. Very cool to see folks at work tuning in. And he wasn't the only one. Rob Powers was also taking in some Open Wheels 500 track action earlier today. Not sure if Rob's off the clock just yet, but happy to have him also join the fray. And both drivers will be on track in November, both with entries submitted already towards the 2020 Open Wheels 500. So excited to have Rob back. He qualified for last year's race. And Daniel, this will be his first foray into the Open Wheels 500. So excited to have him join us as a 2020 newcomer. And he brings a strong pedigree of racing excellence already that we're excited to add to our 2020 entry list. An already talented field of drivers that we're looking forward to unveiling to the world on October 27th. The entry period for the 2020 Open Wheels 500 closes on Monday, October 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And the next day we will release that entry list and publicize it. We'll give you some nuggets throughout the broadcast here. But we'll keep the entry list at large a secret until October 27th comes. You see Larry Yaw there. Larry was driving a Dallara IR05 chassis, and there he is leaving the pit lane. If you missed our broadcast this morning, one thing unique about the Open Wheels 500 is drivers can use any of the 3 Dallara chassis available on iRacing. So what that means is a return of the Dallara IR05 as Larry is driving, as well as appearances from the Dallara DW12 and the current generation Dallara IR18. The IR18 is the car of choice thus far, with most drivers selecting the IR18. Larry having a little bit of trouble getting out onto the track. If he can get the thing pointed in the right direction, we'll do a little bit of onboard with him, courtesy of the Major Series. And a quick spin from Larry right there as traffic oncoming. He backs it into the wall. Let's see if he can get off the pit lane here and see if we can follow Larry around for a lap in a Dallara IR05. Today's broadcast coverage of the Open Test at the Open Wheels 500 on Open Wheels TV is brought to you by the Major Series. Thank you to Michaelette for using the Major Series and Major's Garage as sponsors of this year's Open Wheels 500. With that, the Major Series will be a proud sponsor of every broadcast here on Open Wheels TV. That'll include every second of practice coverage at the 2020 Open Wheels 500, as well as daytime coverage of qualifications at the Open Wheels 500. Of course, final hour coverage of qualifying will be available on Race Spot TV for both pole day and bump day. Those telecasts beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Race Spot TV. Well, Larry bringing the Dallara IR05 up to speed, having a little bit of a handful at the moment, but he's up over 210 miles an hour now, and let's see what he can do. Put a lap together here. Has not yet completed a fully timed lap. A little bit of a moment there in turn 3. Last year, just a few Dallara IR05s on the entry list, and there's a hard crash from Larry, and that'll signal the end of his run. So we followed Larry around a little bit in the Dallara IR05. Christopher Krej, who has the fastest lap of the session at 38.793 second lap, which is 4th fastest on the day. He brings it to the pit lane. A couple drivers heading out on track. That includes Dakota DiCienzo and Connor Baldwin. DiCienzo piloting a gold and white open wheels Chevrolet for Total Downforce Racing with Team Talent. Got about 13 minutes left in this opening stanza, the first hour of session 2 in our 2020 open test at the Open Wheels 500. And one driver we want to take a look at right now, that's Jeff Drake, rolling around the track in his Grant King Race Shops sponsored car. And we mentioned a little while ago, Jeff was one of those drivers. Not sure if he would make it for this year's Open Wheels 500. He's been dealing with some hardware upgrades, and word is Jeff's improving on some of the technical issues he was worried about. Still not quite on the entry list just yet, but we'd love to have Jeff Drake back at 2020 Open Wheels 500. And great to see that Grant King Race Shops logo on the side of the car as well. Grant King Race Shops was a partner for the 2019 Open Wheels 500, and we hope to expand on our partnership with them in the future as we look ahead to the 2021 Open Wheels 500 and above. Drake's last lap, a 40.906. Drake putting in some race simulations. Why don't we do a little bit of onboard action with Jeff Drake? Drake very smooth, very calm, and race trim, as you can see. The steering wheel just a tick to the right, going down the straightaways, just a hair of steering wheel offset, but not too much. Nice and easy out of turn 4. Drake working the 16th lap of this run. So we should have a 15 lap average time for Jeff Drake in just a moment. And there it is, 40.86, his best 15 lap average there. His 10 lap average was 40.849. A bit of a moment exiting turn 4 there for Jeff. Lets a driver by. And looking to get a little bit of practice in traffic. See how that number 18 machine performs in dirty air. We rode along with Jesper Orman a little while ago, and you can hear just how much Jeff has to back out of the throttle with that car leading ahead of him, which it appears is not only on new tires, but perhaps using qualifications boost. So it'll be pretty tough for Drake to hang on to the tail end of their draft. And now he approaches what I believe is the Dallara IR05 machine of Larry Yaw. And we'll watch that closing speed and see how Drake deals with this. Yaw keeps it on the bottom side of the track. Drake drifts by on the top side, no problem, just how he drew it up. Hugo Olsen working by him there. We'll take a ride out the back of Olsen's machine as he leads Drake. Hugo Olsen, 38 laps complete so far. And he brings it down to the pit lane. Drake's still out on track, and we were talking about liveries earlier that we're excited to see. That's one that I'm enjoying a little bit, not only for the Grant King Race Shop's sponsorship on the side, but the neon color, certainly easy for individuals in race control to pick out. Jeff Drake makes another lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, coming down the front stretch. And we'll trade one iRacing IndyCar veteran for another and talk about Brendan Lichtenberg. Hop on over to Jesper Orman on track, but Lichtenberg, a qualifier from the 2019 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions. At last year's Open Wheels 500, Lichtenberg started 30th. He qualified 31st and ended up driving his way up to 13th. So a strong run from Brendan Lichtenberg at the 2019 Open Wheels 500. Sadly, Brendan Lichtenberg's internet just dropped out, so that's why he's not out on track at the moment. And we'll wipe away that onboard graphic for you. Give you a look at the weather right now. Track temp has been hovering between 119 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Air temperature at 78 degrees, and the winds steady out of the north at 2 miles an hour. Partly cloudy conditions today. And that's what you'll see for much of the way with the Open Wheels 500. During all practice and qualifying sessions, the weather is static at the default iRacing weather conditions. That's, as you see on the screen, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit with a north 2 mile an hour wind and partly cloudy skies. That's to ensure that all drivers have the chance to qualify and practice at the same conditions and judge their progress or speed off of that. It gives a great opportunity for folks to hop in practices at any time and get a good barometer of where they stand. One man that'll be happy with his current positioning, Christopher Krej. He is second, 38.793. Gets him the P2 lap so far, but Dakota DiCienzo just went to the top of the board, a 38.754. That's now the second fastest lap of the day. Slower than only Tim Doyle's 38.729 from the early afternoon test session. So just a couple minutes left in our live commentary in the first hour. And thanks for all of you that have been joining us both on Twitch and YouTube today. We use these test sessions just like the drivers and the teams as a way to iron out some kinks in the production process. And already we found some things that we like from today, already some things that we intend to change. But we hope that you have enjoyed following along with us, and we'll be back throughout the next 2 hours of open testing here. We'll take little breaks on and off, about 15 minutes each way. So now when we take a break in about 45 seconds, we'll be back with you at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, the video stream will continue, and you'll be able to follow the action with our leaderboard with the top times on your left-hand side, time remaining above that, and take in the sights and sounds of racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's open testing preparations for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions, already underway. And we look forward to more action as the afternoon progresses and we head into the month of November. Be back in a little bit. This is Open Wheels 500 testing live on Open Wheels TV. And welcome back to coverage of opening testing at the Open Wheels 500. Taking a look at Brendan Lichtenberg on your screen. Brendan, a 2019 participant of the Open Wheels 500-mile race and a former iRacing Indianapolis 500 winner back in 2017. So excited to have Brendan with us. He's out on track making some laps. Currently 21st quick overall. 40.522, his best time on the board to this point. And he makes his way through turn 2. We talked about Brendan a little while ago. Driver we have not talked about today, Wilson Neto. Last year, Wilson, Brazilian driver, qualified second overall, finishing runner-up to the vaunted Young O. Neto was on the provisional pole during pole day in 2019 for a little while, and eventually ended up second with a 4-lap average speed, 229.875 miles an hour. I talked to Wilson the other day. He wasn't sure if he would make it for this year's Open Wheels 500. Said he and his team still searching for a little bit of pace, but it would be great to have him back. Wilson was great to work with at last year's Open Wheels 500. Very supportive of the event. Was excited to take part in the inaugural running. Again, he started second. By the end of the day, he finished up 15th. So not a bad run for Wilson, and his first Open Wheels 500. And we hope to see him back again in 2020. Right now, Wilson is 18th fastest, best lap of 40.215. Action picking up in this session. Definitely a quick start so far. And I'd like to make a note. Earlier in the broadcast, I called Christopher Krej the incorrect last name. I was corrected by one of our viewers. His name is pronounced Kresge, I believe. Krez-Ghee. Kresge. So we'll go for that. If it's incorrect, then hopefully I'll be corrected again. But like I said earlier, that's what these test streams are all about. Happy to get people out joining in the action. Some great participation in the morning session. We had 32 drivers set times over the 3 hours. Already 29 drivers with laps posted in this session, and we're just an hour and 20 minutes in. So this one definitely going to have more participation than the original session. And we're happy to see that, guys, making the way around the 2.5 mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway oval here in iRacing. While we were away, Marco Brazil set a new fastest time for the day, 38.690 seconds. Again, that is quicker than any lap turned in the first session today, which saw a total of 1,140 laps turned in session 1. Tim Doyle led that session at 38.729 seconds. And now Marco Brazil takes the new top spot. Wilson Neto continues to make his way around the track, and he just completes his 25th lap of the session. He's run them all consecutively and appears to be in race trim. So that's impressive to make it that far, because so far in this practice only 8 drivers have put together a string of 15 consecutive laps, and Neto's average 15. Again, that's the best consecutive 15 laps throughout that run. 40.978, second fastest of all drivers so far. The fastest was Brendan Lichtenberg, 40.876. And Lichtenberg has the second fastest, average 10 laps. Fastest there was Hugo Olsen, just about a half-tenth quicker than Lichtenberg over the 10 laps. In this session, Andrew Marquez has been the busiest driver, 54 laps completed, while Connor Baldwin has completed 49 laps, 48 for Jesper Orman. Christopher Kresge, 47 laps completed, 42 for DJ Johnson, and 40 each for Chad Simpson and Brendan Lichtenberg. There's 18 drivers that have completed at least 20 laps in the session. And we still got an hour and 37 minutes remaining, so getting the most out of practice at this point. And while cars continue to make their way around the track, let's give a quick look at the 2020 Open Wheels 500 schedule. On Sunday, November 1st, we kick things off, opening day practice. That'll also include a opening press conference and a optional drivers meeting on Sunday, November 1st. In race week on Tuesday and Thursday, we'll have practices during the day. Coverage of all practices will be shown live on Open Wheels TV. And of note, on Thursday, November 5th, we'll also have the live qualifications draw. That'll be on Race Spot TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where drivers will figure out in which order they will qualify on pole day before the track is open to all qualifiers. Friday, November 6th is Fast Friday practice, and that leads into qualifications weekend on Saturday, November 7th and Sunday, November 8th. Pole day will be on Saturday with bump day on Sunday. Each day will feature full qualifications streaming coverage on OWTV right here, plus final hour coverage of both pole day and bump day on Race Spot TV. Both of those telecasts on Saturday and Sunday begin at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. After we get done with qualifications weekend, we got 2 more race week practices on Tuesday, November 10th and Thursday, November 12th, followed by final practice on Saturday, November the 14th. That's during day before the 500 festivities, which also includes the Veterans 100 and the pit stop competition. And it all leads into Sunday, November 15th, race day at the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions. Coverage on Race Spot TV beginning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And the pre-race show on today at the 500 pre-race, you'll be able to find that right here on Open Wheels TV. That'll be live beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Follow Taylor Cox right now. A little bit of a slide, and he keeps it on the track. Things normally don't end well in the next corner after heating the tires up in the way that he did, so we'll see how he navigates these next few corners. Cox, a real-world midget racer. You can find him at Cox_racing. And great to have Taylor Cox join us for this year's Open Wheels 500, a 2020 newcomer to the 500-mile race. Already committed on the entry list. We'll see him driving the classic Clockworks Chevrolet for Lug Racing. And of course he's in a Dallara IR18 chassis. After Taylor had a bit of a moment there, he's settled in quite nicely, clicking off some race pace laps in the 41-second range. Let's ride along with him. Onboard coverage presented by Mitchell Transmissions. See Taylor using all the track on corner entry. Works it to the bottom line in the corners. Big crash by Marco Aurelio Brazil coming out of turn 4. Almost similar to Dakota DiCienzo's wipeout in last year's Open Wheels 500 around lap 100. Clean track ahead of Taylor right now. His best lap of 40.533. Running in race trim, that's good for 27th fastest overall. We've now had 32 drivers set times in this late afternoon session. And that equals our number that we had from the early afternoon session. So excited to see more and more folks coming out and taking part in today's open test. And jumping up to P5 on the time charts is Matt Hollibaugh in the 02 machine. Driver from the Northwest Club. Rolls across the line. 38.966 on that lap. Remains 5th fastest in this session, but becomes the 5th driver into the 38-second bracket. He's completed 34 laps so far. Last year, Matt wasn't too far from the cut line at the 2019 Open Wheels 500. He qualified 40th overall, 229.197 miles an hour. And now he'll bring it off the track and maybe reset for another run. Following along now with AJ Musselman. AJ, a newcomer to the Open Wheels 500. AJ will be piloting the AJM Consulting, AJMusselman.com Chevrolet for Turn 4 Racing. It's a Dallara IR18 chassis, of course. And he unfortunately becomes collateral damage of an accident in Turn 4. And he'll bring it to the pit lane. Watching Fabio Viana turn some laps right now. Fabio, the black and green car right there. Currently 7th fastest in practice today. 39.104, his best lap. Fabio is one of 2 Brazilian drivers in the top 10 right now. Of course, Marco Brazil at the top of the board, followed by Fabio in 7th. Wilson Neto's 24th. He's just been making some runs in race trim. Good to see some other drivers get in some laps in this afternoon session that didn't get to really participate in the early session that preceded this one. Andrea Giacometti from Italy. Happy to have him as part of the 2020 Open Wheels 500. Rob Powers, we showed his workspace setup a little while ago. He's gotten home to get some laps in, so thanks Rob for jumping in today. "34 cars have been presented in the pit lane so far during this late afternoon session. Just waiting for that 33rd driver to post a time, and that'll give us more drivers with timed laps in this session than the session earlier today. Fabio Viana with an accident there in the north chute. So we're going to take one of our scheduled breaks. It's a little late this time, but we'll meet back up with you around the top of the hour. That'll be about 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. At that point, we'll have 1 hour left in practice. You see Eli Warren making laps in a Dallara IR05 chassis. So we'll see how he can fare and catch the rest of the on-track action as we cycle around the drivers. In the late afternoon session, it's open testing preceding the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions. Thanks for watching us. We're live right now on Open Wheels TV. And welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 1 hour remaining in today's test session as we prepare for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race presented by Mitchell Transmissions. You're watching AJ Burton make laps around the track right now. And when we left you, we had 32 drivers who had made times in the session to that point. We're up to 39 now. And now up to 40. So a new record for entries out on track. We've had some overlap between the first and second sessions. Happy to have given drivers the opportunity to work with some various setups in their toolbox, shake off the rust, and get their cars out as we prepare for the month of November. Driver you see on your screen right now, AJ Burton, he'll certainly be a contender when it comes down to it on November 15th. He's out putting in a what appeared to be a qualifications run. He slides a bit through turn 3, which will certainly call an end to his run at the moment. AJ brings it down the pit lane and go find some other action out on track. Andrea Giacometti, 10th fastest thus far. Andrea, a 39.122 second lap. .58 laps complete for the Italian driver. And one thing it's been kind of cool to observe since Michele Costantini's win in 2019, just in this session alone, we have 3 Italian drivers in the top 18. So I'm not sure if that's a direct influence of one of their fellow countrymen winning the race last year, but Michele's been a great advocate for the Open Wheels 500 since his victory last November. And we're excited to have him back as contender at the 2020 Open Wheels 500. Like to give some camera time to Doug South right now. Coming from down under the Australia-New Zealand area. Doug already has his entry submitted towards the 2020 Open Wheels 500. Running for Rouger Who Racing. It'll be a Dallara IR18 Honda. Looking forward to seeing how Doug fares throughout the month of November. A cool two-sided paint scheme he's got right there. One of the more unique liveries that we've seen at the Brickyard today. And still waiting for that 100th entry to come in, sitting on 99 right now for the 2020 Open Wheels 500, just 5 off of the number we reached in 2019. So a great field of drivers already on deck, and we're looking for a few more. Doug working on some race setups as Taylor Cox leaves the pit lane. And now we hop on and see what DJ Johnson's up to. DJ, a driver for Hawkins Auto Sport from the Georgia Club, piloting a Chevrolet. He's a 2020 Open Wheels 500 newcomer, and the announcer's curse, he ends up scraping the wall right there. His teammate Jameel Hawkins continues on. You'll see both of their cars have that nearly identical teal, black, orange, and red accent throughout their livery. It's a good looking car for sure. We've seen some great liveries throughout the day today. Drivers putting a lot of work into their paint schemes these days, and it certainly shows. We're excited to showcase those on Open Wheels social media throughout the month of November, and a test day like today certainly gives us an opportunity to pull in some of those new teams and drivers, and we get some content out of it, get some photos and B-roll to be used in later productions. So thanks to everybody who's come out today. Thanks to all the individuals who have followed along either here on YouTube or on Twitch. And if you're watching, feel free to comment on the quality of the streams today, either just if you've been watching this YouTube stream or if you caught both this one and the Twitch stream. Be happy to hear how the video quality was, how the audio was, and we'll be making some adjustments, getting ready for November. Make sure we have a great product for when the track opens for official practice on Sunday, November the 1st. The driver just ahead of Jameel Hawkins, Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Another good looking livery, clad in pink. It's the Necky Racing North World Sim Honda. Luis Gonzalez Nunez running for Necky Racing Team out of Canada. Let's do a little bit on board with Luis. Onboard coverage courtesy of Pit Lane Parlay, proud sponsor of the Pit Lane Parlay Pole Award and Pit Lane Parlay Qualifications Weekend, November 7th and 8th, entailing pole day and bump day qualifications, where our pole sitter and the field of 33 will be determined for the second running of the Open Wheels 500-mile race. "50 minutes remain in practice today. The final official tune-up before things kick off for real in about 2.5 weeks. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for official practice. Gonzalez Nunez finishes off his mock qualifications run and pulls his car off the track. It's still Marco Aurelio Brazil at the top of the timing charts today. A best lap of 38.690 seconds. Dakota DiCienzo second in this session. Christopher Kresge, hoping to get that right. 38.793 his best lap. And you're watching him on screen right now. Angelo Luigi Soleo He's fourth fastest in this session, 38.909. And Brian Barney, 38.964, the Club Illinois driver, fifth fastest in this session so far. Good to see Brian out on track. We had 1,140 laps completed in the first session, and we're certainly going to eclipse that here in the second session. We've had great participation all day long, so thank you to all the drivers that have come out to enjoy some track time at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today. 42 drivers have set times in this session, 32 in the first session. Christopher Kresge posted a new top trap speed on the day a little while ago, 241.3 miles an hour. So that's over a full mile an hour better than the high water mark that was set by Charles Teed in the first session. He ran 240.2. Kresge 241.3 in this session. So some high speeds being run today. Not sure if we expect anybody in the 38.7 range for qualifications like Kresge has run on his best lap, or even the 38.69 that Marco Aurelio Brazil posted a little while earlier. A lot of those times end up being draft aided, but we're excited to see how qualifications unfold here at the 2020 Open Wheels 500, because with the aero screen, increased engine boost has been allowed, and we're hoping that brings a new track record at the 2020 Open Wheels 500. Last year's 4-lap speed for pole was set by Young O, 229.925. Second fastest was Wilson Neto, 229.875. And we expect to get well into the 230s for this year's round of qualifications. And looking at on track right now, Joshua Hafeen. Joshua, a friend of OpenWheels.com. He'll have sponsorship from the Grip Strip podcast and Exalta for this year's Open Wheels 500. You see him there on screen in the blue and orange machine. He's running for Hafeen Motorsports in a Honda. Shout out to Joshua and Phil at the Grip Strip podcast. Always great to hop on there, talk IndyCar racing whenever we can. Surely we'll be doing some of that this off-season as we try to fill the void between St. Pete races in October and March. But great to have Josh join the program as a driver in the Open Wheels 500. Excited to have him on board. We're going to take a little break. We're going to take a 20-minute break and then be back for our final broadcast segment of the day. We'll be back with some commentary at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll take you right to the end of today's action with this practice concluding at about 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Busy track out there right now. Over 40 cars have been on pit lane for this session. And excited to see how things wrap up today. Open testing at the Open Wheels 500-mile race. It's about 2.5 weeks until the track opens for official practice on November 1st. We'll be back in a little bit. You're watching Open Wheels 500 testing on Open Wheels TV. And welcome back to the final few minutes of open testing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today. You're watching Andrew Wood out on track. Andrew, the team talent driver that snuck into the Open Wheels 500 field last year. He originally qualified 34th, was the first man left on the outside looking in, but was able to take part in the race when Brandon Traino had to drop out due to some prior obligations with his NASCAR pit crew duties. That allowed Andrew to find his way into the field of 33 as the 33rd starter. And from there, he worked his way up through the field, ended up finishing 14th overall in a fairly respectable run. You're watching Andrew out on track right now in his wood-stained Dallara IR18. We'll do a little in-car running with Andrew. Onboard cam represented by Mitchell Transmissions. And you see the New England native working through some race simulations right now. Track is pretty worn in to this point. Only 15 minutes left in a 3-hour session. And we did carry over some rubber usage from the previous session, which saw 32 drivers post times. In this session, 46 individuals have made laps at the Speedway. I'm going to guess we have nearly 2,500 laps of practice action turned in today's practice. 1140 in the first session and probably over 1,300 in this session if I had to guess. We'll see in a little while. We'll have the official results posted to openwheels.com and the Open Wheels 500 Discord. Andrew working his way through turn 4. Currently working lap 9. And he's 9th fastest overall, a best lap time of 38.942 seconds. So quite a few draft aided qualifying boost laps at the top of the leaderboard today, but cool to see that we got 10 drivers under the 39-second range, and in total 31 drivers underneath 40 seconds as their best lap today. Obviously not 100% indicative of the pace individuals will have when it comes to the real thing in November, but always fun to see the big numbers up on the board. Tim Doyle's lap from this morning, that was 38.729 seconds in duration. That was over 232 miles an hour, 232.384. And Marco Brazil bested that with a 38.690 in this afternoon's end of the day session. Andrew Wood lined up with Jason Brophy right there. Brophy ends up getting into the wall, and that's going to end his run. Under 15 minutes left in practice today. Big thanks to everyone who has watched along so far today. We've had, well, by the end of this practice session, it'll be over 6 hours of on-air time. We've had commentary throughout the day, been trying out some different production elements, and it's been a joy to bring you guys coverage of today's open test. And while we have a little bit of a lull in the action, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a furry friend who moved on to the next stage of his life this week. The pup that you see on your screen right there, his name is Lugnut, and he's pet owned by Jerry and Tammy Hall, family that owns and operates Mitchell Transmissions. Unfortunately, this week, Lugnut passed away, and it's evident by the outpouring of love and support voiced on social media over the last few days that he'll be dearly missed. Open Wheels likes to offer its thoughts, prayers, and support to the Hall family in this difficult time. Rest easy, little man. Just over 10 minutes remaining in practice today. As you see, cars circulating the 2.5-mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway oval. Our blimp coverage high above the world-famous Brickyard, as Logan Detweiler mentioned in the YouTube stream chat. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is actually on the list of nationally recognized historic places in the United States and Indiana. It's pretty cool that we get the opportunity to do what we do and do some sim racing here at IMS, especially as we get to the month of November and race at the track when normally there's not much track activity going on at the Speedway. So excited to bring the Open Wheels 500 back to iRacing and race fans as a whole, and put on a great event for our competitors again in 2020. Of the individuals on track right now, the only one who we haven't had the chance to speak about is Jami Boulanger. You see them right there making laps in the number 68 machine, a Dallara DW12. Jami not yet on the entry list, but taking the opportunity, an open test day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, to make some laps in the second generation Indy car offered here on the iRacing simulation. Currently sitting 39th fastest, so not the slowest driver running in an older chassis. Hailing from the Indiana Club, Jami Boulanger. Other drivers out on track right now: AJ Burton, Andrew Marquez, Andrea Giacometti, Brendan Lichtenberg, Taylor Cox, Jason Brophy, Jamil Hawkins, DJ Johnson, Joshua Hafeen and Jami Boulanger. Of all the drivers on track right now, AJ Burton is the fastest. 38.793 seconds, his best lap. He's completed 45 laps in this session. In the first session, we only had 2 drivers eclipse the 100 lap mark. That was Mikael Hagstrom and Dave Stedman. In this session, we have 4 drivers already over 100 laps. Matt Hollabaugh, 119. 117 for Andrea Giacometti. 103 for Taylor Cox, and 102 for Christopher Craigsey. Andrew Marquez has 96, and DJ Johnson has 93. It's about 7 minutes left in practice, so each of those drivers could get over the 100 lap mark if they finish out without much issue. And that would make 6 drivers with at least 100 laps completed in this session, 8 for the day. Massive accident in turn 2. Signals the end of the run for AJ Burton. And we ride along with Joshua Hafeen. 234 miles an hour at the line, so he's on a qualification simulation. Following another car is going to get a little bit of aero wash through turns 1 and 2. Drifts high, but gets a great run. Heading down the back stretch, makes the overtake into turn 3, at 234 miles an hour. And has to back way out of the throttle down to 220. Last lap of 39.897 for Joshua. Currently sitting 29th fastest. That was his fastest lap of the day with 22 laps completed. We'll see how quick this one is. Reminder for any drivers interested in competing in this year's Open Wheels 500, the entry period's still ongoing. Individuals can contact Tanner Watkins by emailing tanner@openwheels.com. Again, that's tanner@open-wheels.com, or by sending me a private message on iRacing by finding Tanner J. Watkins. It's about 4 minutes left in practice today as we bring the 2020 Open Test to a close. It's been fun. You felt a little bit of that excitement that we enjoy on opening day. That'll be just 2.5 weeks away. We'll open the track for practice for real, and that'll give us 4 days of practice leading into qualifications weekend. Josh Hafeen pulls off the track, and AJ Burton heads on by. His black and red i5G, the Apex Racing Team, Broken Arrow machine, powered by Honda. Burton riding by himself a bit here. Let's head over and check out the nose cam we showed a little bit on our Twitch stream today. One of 60 different cameras we'll have for Open Wheels TV Productions in November, as we give you coverage of the world's greatest sim race, the Open Wheels 500, presented by Mitchell Transmissions. 2.5 minutes left in practice. Looks like Marco Aurelio Brazil is going to remain the fastest man of the day. He had a draft dated lap at 38.690 seconds. Dakota DiCienzo was second fastest, 38.754. The man you're riding with right now, AJ Burton, 38.793, followed by Christopher Kresge, 38.793 as well. And Matt Hollibaugh, he was fifth fastest, 38.869, his best lap on the day. Andrew Marquez, he got to the 100 lap mark, just ran his 100th lap of the afternoon. DJ Johnson is in the pits, sitting on 99 laps. And Brendan Lichtenberg is at 97 laps with about 1.5 minutes remaining. Doesn't look like he'll make it to 100 laps, but he could if he passes the start-finish line at the right time. Squeezes one more lap out of his Broken Arrow i5G Apex Racing Team machine. And we catch up with Brandon right here. Just completed lap 98. So let's see if he'll make it. 45 seconds left in practice. Lichtenberg dives down into turn 3. Through the north chute, down the front stretch, and he'll get one more timed lap if he wants it. If he finishes this lap, he'll be dead on 100 laps for the session. Lichtenberg brings it through turn 2 as we reach the conclusion of practice. Checkered flag in the air. Coming out of turn 4, and he will indeed finish this lap, and that marks 100 laps completed for Brendan Lichtenberg. 7 drivers in this session with 100 laps complete. Matt Hollibaugh led the way with 131. Andrea Giacometti with 127. So some great work by the drivers today. Lichtenberg shifting down, bringing his car back to the pit lane and putting a bow on a great day of practice at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We had 2 3-hour sessions, all covered by Open Wheels TV. The first session was on twitch.tv, and you're watching us live now on YouTube. And our goal is to whittle that down to just one universal streaming platform for November. But today was a great day for not only the drivers, but the production crew at OWTV to get a feel for some things and make some adjustments as necessary. Well, thank you everybody who tuned in, and to all the drivers who participated today in practice at the Open Wheels 500. We were excited to bring you the action. It was a fun day of interviews, livery unveils. I got to talk a little bit about schedule, some 2019 results, And we're excited to bring you yet another edition of the Open Wheels 500 this November. Again, opening day, Sunday, November 1st. That'll be followed by a full week of action leading into qualifications weekend on Saturday and Sunday, November 7th and 8th. The field of 33 will be set by bump day on November 8th, and then we head into race week, all leading into the second running of the Open Wheels 500 live on Race Spot TV, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on November 15th. We look to have you all there, but we look to have you back for practice, qualifying, and everything the month of November entails. Stay tuned to open-wheels.com for continued coverage of the Open Wheels 500-mile race. Special thanks today to the Majors Series, Majors Garage, for their sponsoring of today's broadcast. And we thank all of you who tuned in, participated, engaged with the Open Wheels 500's test today. We'll be back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in about 2.5 weeks' time for opening day at the Open Wheels 500. Until then, this is Tanner Watkins for everybody at Open Wheels TV, signing off.